Hey everybody, Tag Life Done Free. Hey, I thought maybe some of you guys might be interested in how I cut a window in to an existing wall. You know, because I don't typically cut them in when I build the outside of the wall. I'm going to do that for a lot of reasons. One, time I can't be in there all the time, and I can dap along we go as long as I go. I can also, get the windows when I get them, and whatever I get's what I get, and it just gives me flexibility. But anyway, if you're interested in seeing how I cut a window in, come on, check it out. So as we begin, I thought I would just share with you guys the anatomy of a wall. So as you can see, you've got studs that run top and bottom. You have a bottom plate, and typically we'll have a dual top plate. The first thing we do is we're going to remove that stud where the window's going to fit. Now you may have to move the studs right or left, to create your opening. But what you want to end up with was basically two studs on the side, which are your king studs. Then we're going to add the trimmers to the bottom. This is the height of the window. In my case, there's 3. There could be 5. There could be 6. From there, we're going to put the sill plate in, add the trimmers to the outside of the window, and then we will insert the header up above it. Finally, we're going to put some cripples on the top of it. And again, this case is 3. And then you have a wall that's built appropriately. So come on, let's see how I did it.
All right, guys, so today I'm going to cut in some windows. So I've got these 3 front windows that need to go in, and I could use the light inside here as I continue to build Pod 4. So I'm going to show you how I cut in windows on an existing wall. Before I do that, though, I'm sure a lot of people are wondering, why didn't you just cut them in while you were building the walls? Well, the reason I don't do that in this particular case is because this is not a project I can spend all my time on. So if I cut them in, it would have taken me longer to get it up and get it weather tight. And, just like last night, it rained a whole bunch. So I wanted to make sure I could get my building sealed, and then I'll cut them in as I go. It's a little bit of extra work, but because I'm a one-man show and because I can't donate full amount of time to it, this is the way I do it.
So basically, I just leave the trimmer in the bottom there and just cut it off. But you could pull the whole one out. I just leave it in, just to me that it's easier. But so from there, then I have to put the trimmers on the right and the left, and put the sill plate on. But again, pretty easy cut. Just pull it right out. So this is what the window looks like, completely framed in. You'll see that header way up there at the top. These windows are awful high, but I do that to keep that afternoon sun out. And if you remember the outside of this building, that overhangs 30 inches. So it really allows me to keep it cool. We really lightened it up in there a little bit. So let's cover the anatomy of this window here real quick. So this outside stud here, this is what's called a king stud, and it runs from floor to ceiling. Okay, and that's on either side of the window. Just to the inside of it are what's called trimmers. So this trimmer also runs floor all the way to ceiling. It gives that header something to support, and that's a bearing wall, so those trusses are sitting directly on top of that header, and it's going to push the weight all the way down. Okay, that's a cripple, which would go in the center, and a sill plate, and again your header. Now that's a triple 2x6 sandwich header, which that sandwich header would be 3 2x6s and then 1/2 inch plywood between each one, which is the reason they refer to it as a sandwich header. But these are super critical, and again, they help support the weight of the roof pushing right down. So here we go. We're going to begin the second window. And you can see I've cut the bottom one off, just like before. I just use a Sawzall to cut them off. There's the other one, because this one doesn't fit neatly between 2 studs, so I've got to move it over. But it's the exact same process. Again, this is a bearing wall, so when you start this process, you really want to kind of get on it. Now, the good news is for me, there's not a lot of weight sitting out there yet. Roof's not on, all of those kind of things. But, usually because it's a bearing wall, I want to, kind of run through that pretty quick. So I'm going to do the same thing. Cut them out, put the trimmers on, put the cripples on, put the headers in, cut the plywood out, and then house wrap the opening of the window. So it'd be pretty neat to get this process done. I'm very much looking forward to ending it. Well, here you go. Here's all 3 windows. Look at that. All cut in. I've only got the house wrap, it looks like, on the one. Man, this place sure is a mess. We got to get that cleaned up before today's up. But when you're in construction, it makes quite a mess. Well, there it is from the outside, 3 windows in. You see that silver tape around the windows? Guys, do not shortcut this. This will save you so much insulation money. It cuts down all the breeze that's coming, from the outside. But I think I'm ready to call it a day, so I'm going to clean it up and, go enjoy the rest of my evening and, live to fight another day. Well, hey, everybody. I hope you enjoyed cutting in the windows with me. It's a pretty easy process. I got 3 down. About 8 to go. So I'll work my way around and just continue to get the building a little bit tighter and a little bit tighter. And once I get it all kind of weather tight, doors in, windows in, then I can worry about it this winter. Because my goal is really to spend my winter on the inside of it. But, guys, like I always say, go live a little bit freer today than you did yesterday. Hold the line. Don't give an inch. Tag out.